data breach. Did we get hacked again? Thank God for Facebook. Or is it? All of that coming back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. How you guys are doing out there? So today we're talking about Facebook and how Facebook was a big part of this big scandal that you guys might be hearing about or heard about, which is called Cambridge Analytica. So Cambridge Analytica and Facebook, and we also have the election, all falls in together. So the 2016 prime elections going in with Cambridge Analytica and Facebook all ties into one thing, a big scam. There's no other way of putting this, and there's no other way of painting this. Basically, a big scam. So this is what happened, guys. 270,000 people of Facebook actually took this survey, and they actually go ahead and fill out what the survey was requiring from. What these people did not know was that Cambridge Analytica was actually spoofing everything else they had within their network of friends. So this 270,000 people that took it became 25 million people of valuable information that was leaked out from Facebook and given to Cambridge Analytica. Now you might be sitting there and saying to yourself, okay, what's the big deal with that? Well, here's the big deal. You trust Facebook and all your information that you put up in there. You basically are giving your information to this platform, and with the response and the hope that this platform respects your privacy. Well, this privacy was violated, plain and simple. And Facebook knew about this. Now, here's the thing. Facebook knew about it in 2016, coming into 2017. They kept quiet and they didn't say anything about it at all. So we're looking at the same thing that Equifax did. That if they didn't came out, if the media didn't come out and actually blow the whistle, they would have never told the public about what was going on. So the same thing with Facebook. Facebook did not say anything to their users at all. Now, they knew that this information was already hacked or was already leaked out. Instead of Zuckerberg over here actually moving forward and pressing on this company, he decided to go ahead, and this is the lame excuse he gave to CNN News. This is the excuse that he gave. He gave the excuse that, hey, listen, we actually had our lawyers and we actually told them that they can't be doing this and that they had to fill out these forms and these papers and blah, 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 and they never followed up after that. Now, being a businessman that you are, that's unacceptable. It really is. Because basically, if you're running a business, you want to make sure that your business is on the up and up. That's one. Two, you want to make sure that you're following up with any kind of pressing news like this, because this is vital. And this is very, how can I put it? Very, very, very important information, that this is something that your policies and your procedures you have up. So imagine you having your own policies and procedure and it's being violated by the same people that are saying that they're protecting your privacy and procedures. So how does that work? So again, so Facebook knew about this. They never said anything about this, and they actually try to keep this and try to brush it under the rug. But like everything else, what's in the dark must reveal itself in the light. It was revealed. And Zuckerberg then comes out and makes this kind of a sorry, lame excuse of, I'm sorry, and we're going to do better, and blasey blasey, and all that crap. Unacceptable. It really is. It's unacceptable. Now, I can see Equifax doing this and saying, hey, listen, we got hacked and, this and that, and that was unacceptable. Okay. But then here comes Facebook willingly knowing that they were part of this Cambridge Analytica, who actually was able to take on other people's information and then sell it and sell that information now into the elections and actually turned the election around. Because let's put it this way, in 2016, most of our elects that were running for president, not saying that they don't use some kind of information like this, because they do. Because we also see that Ted Cruz also used Cambridge Analytica. And we see that that didn't go out well for him at all. We see that that just didn't work out for him. But we also know that Donald Trump also used Cambridge Analytica. And we also know that this is not illegal to do. You can do this in a prime election. You can go ahead and source yourself out to actually get information and see how the people and what the people feel. But things like perfect things like draining the swamp, which Trump thought was kind of like a lame and kind of, like not a great term. He got to find out that that was a fantastic thing, because people in Florida who was actually in this predicament actually rooted for that and actually went for that. So here's the thing. If I have information on certain things that I know that you guys like, and I base myself in that angle and actually maneuver myself to actually move into that, well, then you're going to like me a little bit better. You're going to actually say, hey, well, you know what? He's not such a bad guy. And you know what? I might change the way I might think about this guy. That's just the way it is. Now, with that information being brought into the prime electors and actually putting in, now here's the bigger thing. Now, Cambridge Analytica was actually brought to court in Europe, in England. And they actually did an investigation, a private investigation, and where they actually sat down and actually admitted to selling this information to the prime elects. Now, again, like I said, this is not uncommon practice to do. You can do this, but to a certain extent. And again, remember, if this information is being gathered, it's being gathered with the knowledge that who they got it from actually consented to this. Now, 25 million people out of 270,000 that took this survey did not consent to that. So that is illegal. And that is something that you can't do. So changing the election or changing the way things went because people just wanted to hear what they wanted to hear, because they felt that, you know what, this is the way it is. So if the majority of the vote is saying, yeah, we like red, and the lesser saying, no, we like blue, well, red's going to win. And that's just the way it is. And that is a big no-no. Now, Facebook knew about all this information and didn't do anything about it. Facebook was advertising all this on their platform because they were getting money for it. And instead of them actually stopping and actually running a business, they was running a racket. And that is not right. And that is not fair to the people that are actually using Facebook and are actually using it as a platform for what it was meant to be used for. So that's not right. And Zuckerberg giving that kind of an apology is not an apology at all. It's not. It's not a good apology at all. And we have people like now, we got Elon Musk that comes out with the hashtag delete Facebook. And not only did he mean it, but he actually took his business away from Facebook. So his pages that he had with SpaceX was removed from it. He deleted his account completely. Now, and he's asking other people to delete their account. Now, this is not a bash against Facebook because this is a financial channel. Okay, so we're going to now see where is Facebook falling at, because we see that Facebook already lost $32 billion since this news broke out. And that's big because Zuckerberg doesn't do interviews. Basically, Zuckerberg doesn't show up and does media interviews at all. But when you lose $32 billion, you have the bigger boys sitting on those, how can I put it, on those chairs up there. So the board of chair committees are telling you, you're going to go do that video and you're going to go ahead and tell the people this and this and that and that, because you know what? We need to get some of this money back. That's $32 billion. That's a lot of money. We see that the stock has dropped, and the future for Facebook, not saying that it's looking green, and I'm not saying that it's going to be a disaster, but a lot of people are going to view Facebook in a whole totally different way now, because they're not going to trust everything they put up in there anymore. And because we have a certain age group that actually likes to use Facebook, we're talking about those from going from 15 years old going up to 25 years old, they're going to be thinking about how is it that now they're going to put information up there. And those people from 25 going into in their 40s are going to be thinking about, you know what, I'm going to wean myself away from this, and I'm not going to do this as much as I used to do it before. And again, those from the 40s into the 50s and 60s, well, they really don't use it that much at all. So Facebook is going to see another drop coming again. So the stock will drop again. So again, now this is where we come into play. Now here's where the business comes into play. As we see this stock dropping down, we have to now evaluate this stock and analyze it and find where it's going to be the rock bottom for it. Now, is it going to be a profitable stock moving forward again? Well, it was almost at 200 bucks, guys. It was up to 195, and it was basically going almost to 200 bucks. So that wasn't a bad stock at all. Now with all this news and everything else, it has dropped. I think it's that back like 150, 160 something dollars around there right now, which is not where Facebook would like to be at. Now, with this being revealed, now remember that they have to now bring this to the US courts. And now when the question was asked to Zuckerberg over here, would he be the one testifying this and that and that, he tried to wiggle his butt away from it and say, if I need to be there, I need to be there. But, we have people that know how to deal with Congress better than what I can be. But if I have to be, the face of the company and actually be there, then I will be there. No, that's not the answer. You are the face of the company, and you should be the one answering those questions. You should not be sending your proteges over to actually answer the tough questions. I want to see you answer those tough questions. I want to see you tell the people and give those people a decent response as to why this was done and why this went on for so long, and how come now, out of the blue now, you decided to go ahead and do what you need to do. Unacceptable. And again, we're going to see how this unfolds. We're going to see how this moves forward for the week coming in. We also know that the tariff is doing a disaster on the market. As you can see, the market is having a bad week last week. And I did a video on tariff over here. So for those guys who don't know what tariff is, so this way you can actually check it out and see what that's all about. And now we're seeing now how this is actually being put into play and how this is affecting the market drastically, very drastically. So again, guys, we have to watch this and see how this is moving forward. Now, we're looking at a market here, maybe coming back to the 2008. And if we're looking at that market again, then we're going to have a lot of investors who are going to be very skeptical about how they want to invest. And that's not a good thing for the market right now. We don't need that right now. We don't need a war with China and all other countries just because, we figure that, it's good to put, business to fight with business. That's not business fighting with business. That's totally different, especially when you have the US dollar was being weak right now. If the US dollar was being strong, then I can see where you can say, yeah, go ahead, let's go fight and let's go put these things into play. But the US dollar right now is weak. So it's not a good idea to go ahead and actually put yourself into this type of war against China and all the countries that are actually falling into this tariff situation here. That's not good. Not good at all, guys. All right, guys. But again, if you guys got any comments or any questions, please leave it at the comment section below. And as always, don't forget, more gains, more gains, more gains. Giving it your maximum effort. Peace out.